welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with our awesome friends from Renal Associates. Dr. Alcade, when we went to the break, you were saying if you had to be on dialysis, you would do it at home.
Yes, I certainly would. Again, for all the things that we talk about, it will afford me a greater independence and then do things in the comfort of my own home. And the support systems are always there. And,
so it's nothing to fear.
There's nothing to fear.
And that was the thing that I was so fearful that I would make a mistake. But the thing that I'm kind of hanging on is people actually travel outside of the state and the country with their own little dialysis machine.
Yes.
That's the best kept secret. No, really, we need to promote that more because most people think that you have to go to the centers every day, every other day, and you're there, 3.5 hours, and so you got to have transportation. Those at work, like you said, it kind of takes away that from their work to take that time off. Right. Wow.
And let me add also one thing, particularly the talk about all the healthcare costs that we incur, our country incurs. So let me just give you a number by saying that the government pays about $90,000 a year to keep somebody on the in-center dialysis. It is much cheaper for the government to keep somebody on home dialysis modality, actually.
Because it's less.
It's less resources, less manpower. There's no brick and mortar. Exactly.
So the overhead, it's a lower overhead.
Absolutely, yes.
Right, and it's underutilized. I think our area has about 33% penetration, which means that's about how many patients of the whole population that we have on home dialysis. And so there's a huge need. That's why we have the Kidney Smart classes to educate people on the different modalities so that they do know more about home, because about 7 to 8 years ago, they didn't have any type of education for patients that needed dialysis. And they would a lot of times go on dialysis and not really know that anything existed other than in-center hemodialysis.
And I'm guilty of that as well. And of course, our dad was 90 when he went on it, but there was so much fear. And that's because we were not educated on it to understand that
it's very scary.
That it wasn't, this big monster, that it was actually something that could be managed. And you didn't have to be a rocket scientist or a PhD to be successful in it. No, and I think that what you're doing with the Kidney Smart is very important. And I know you don't need extra workload, but I think you got to get out into the community before every group that you can get in front of and help people to understand that, because we got more and more people that are ending up needing that type of care. But it will be helpful if family and friends and then maybe, some of the patients understand that this is something that's doable.
Let me just say also that the Kidney Smart is only not geared for dialysis patients or going to dialysis patients, but actually it's more geared towards our CKD, patients with chronic kidney disease, stage number 3, stage number 4, or even stage 5 before they go on dialysis. In that class, they really emphasize things to do, particularly diet. And that, they talk about all aspects of kidney failure. So that dialysis modality is only a part of that Kidney Smart class.
Wow, your plate is very full. So you're trying to keep some people from getting to the dialysis.
Exactly.
So you're doing the preventive.
Exactly.
And you're training people on the diet and exercise and all those things that they can do to try to not have to get on the dialysis.
That is what Kidney Smart is, actually.
The first part of the class is designed to keep your kidneys healthy as long as possible, to slow the progression of your kidney disease, to know everything that you can know about what's going on with your body to help you stop it from progressing as fast. Because you cannot reverse kidney disease, but you can slow the progression. And that's what the doctors are trying to do for their patients, and that's what the Kidney Smart class does, is tries to educate them so that they can stay off dialysis as long as possible. And then if they do have to go on dialysis, what are your options? What is out there for me? Because there's several options, and a lot of people don't know about all of them.
And every time this team comes, I learn something, and I try to know a lot about a lot of things, but every time I'm really learning more, and I think this will be really helpful for our audience. So besides the Kidney Smart and the in-home dialysis, you all are all over the place, taking care of people. You do an excellent job, multiple sites
Office locations. That's right.
in
Office
Alabama
locations.
and Georgia.
Georgia, yes.
And so that's your daily thing.
It is, and again, we want to do a lot of outreach there in the community, and basically for people to know that it's not just having kidney failure, but if and when you have kidney failure, we got a lot of ways to help you out.
Right.
But when I first came to town, I have this patient who told me that at least their idea then was, if they go on dialysis, they're going to die. So our thing now is that you ought not to be, because there's a lot of other ways we can, number one, prevent kidney disease, number two, delay the progression, and number three, if and when you go, there are modalities there, more options for you to choose from to be able to live longer, and then hopefully get a kidney transplant, so on and so forth.
Right, and you have a better quality of life.
Absolutely.
And you're absolutely right, Dr. Alkay, because when we first started hearing about people on dialysis, folks really believe that
they're going to die.
You're going to die.
Yes.
They're scared.
They're scared.
Yes.
And I think with what you're doing with the classes, and trying to get the information out, that people will understand that it's really not necessarily the end of the road. People can actually live, work, travel, go on vacation, and really have a full life.
Absolutely.
Live a healthy, happy life, as long, if they take care of themselves.
Yeah. And they have more quality of life in the process too.
Okay.
And we do always, when we're scheduling the classes, we invite the family members to come, because it's so important to have your family member with you when you're going through something like this, to the classes and everything, so they know what your diet needs to be and what things to look out for. It's very important to have that support for them.
And because we live in the South, we like everything that's fried, and we
Salted.
like it salty, we like the hot sauce, we like the sweet tea. And so you really have a task with trying to retrain our brains to think that, in order to live, we have to let some of that go.
Right.
Well, it doesn't mean that you have to really let go some of the things that you love. The Kidney Smart class would emphasize a sort of a certain balance. You could still have some salt, some stuff that you eat. It's never saying you can never have this stuff ever again, but it's just really
have to have it
trying
in
to find
moderation.
In moderation,
That's right.
yes.
Exactly.
That's the key.